Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1.
Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, we got breaking news. Holy shizbang.
What the hell's going on around here?
What the hell's going on around here? I have no idea. This one is out of the blue. Shocking. Out of the blue. Good morning to you, IndyCar Timm. As he's checking with our FanStream Sports Ohio State or Columbus affiliates right now. We'll get some instant reaction on this. Brian Hartline, according to Pete Thamel of ESPN, and he's never wrong, unlike myself. Brian Hartline.
He ain't
will be
effing
the new head coach at the University of South Florida. He ain't effing leaving. Brian Hartline. First blush, great hire. Great hire. He is a wide receiver producing machine at Ohio State. I did not know he was the play caller.
Yeah.
According to Pete Thamel, he is the play caller at Ohio State.
That is correct.
Interesting. Very interesting. What a great get for USF. With all apologies to our good friend Anthony Beck, who I thought would have been a great, great hire here. This is obviously someone who's done it at a very high level at the, top 3 program, arguably the best program in the past couple of years in college football. What do we know about Brian Hartline, IndyCar Timm? Who do we got to get on the line here from Columbus?
Yeah, I'm trying to get Tito on, see what time he's available to pop on with us to talk some Brian Hartline. And he just replied, he says,
yeah, we got TJ at 10:15.
Yep. Tito said nobody in Columbus has heard anything about this until the announcement, until the news was just broken. This was very much under wraps, apparently. But Brian Hartline, of course, former wide receiver at Ohio State and in the NFL, has taken over the offense, has taken over play calling, and JP, for the last couple of seasons, he has been instrumental in their recruiting of wide receivers and offensive players. So he will bring that with him to USF, as that's, of course, an integral part of the college coaching job is recruiting. And he is known to be an outstanding recruiter up in Columbus.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is huge.
Yeah. Marvin Harrison Jr., Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, Emeka Ibuka, obviously.
Jackson Smith and Jigba from right here in DFW. Yeah.
Jackson Smith and Jigba, who is arguably the best receiver in the NFL right now. His resume is spectacular. Also had 344 catches and threw 4,700 yards and 14 touchdowns. Playing for the Cleveland Browns one season, the Dolphins. Drafted by the Dolphins in the 4th round. Why do I think I was thinking he played for the Patriots for a bit because he's a small white receiver.
Right.
But he did not. Okay. All right. So we're digesting this live on the air, kids. What do we think? I mean, first blush, this is a home run hire. This is a home run hire.
I'm shocked.
He's calling the plays at Ohio State, coming off a national championship last year, odds-on favorite to win another national championship this year, calling plays and directing an offense that's going to produce probably the Heisman Trophy winner in Julian Sayin. What else we need to add to this resume here?
Well, my understanding is he was the head coach in waiting behind Ryan Day. So that's a little shocking to me. Now, like you pointed out,
that's how much
off the air that he can always go back, right? Yeah, if something happens with Day. Yeah, he can always go back. And I mean, I guess. So does this mean, though, is he going to pull a Lane Kiffin? Is he going to bolt before the playoffs and head over to USF and bring some offensive staff with him? And does that mean Ohio State's going to fall in the rankings for the next final rankings that we have on Sunday?
Ooh.
Inquiring minds want to know.
That's interesting. Yeah. That's a big thing for Ohio State, right? I mean,
because I just found out this morning, and I won't talk about this until we get. I won't talk about this until we get TJ on to talk some Bucs and college football playoffs. But I found some information out this morning that I was unaware of about the college football playoff bylaws. So we'll look for that.
What's that? That they all get paid under the table by ESPN to do whatever they're told to do?
No, we already knew that.
Is that actually in the bylaws? Yeah. Protect the SEC at all costs.
Yes.
Is that in the bylaws? No matter what happens, screw the ACC. No matter what happens. Rule number 1, screw the ACC and protect the SEC no matter what. That's rule number 1 in the bylaws, right? I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah.
How does Ole Miss? Ole Miss loses their coach and play caller, right?
Well, Charlie Weiss Jr. is staying. Charlie Weiss Jr. is staying
for the bowl game,
for the playoffs, yeah,
or whatever the playoff, whatever,
right.
Yeah, whatever happens in the playoffs,
right?
Yeah, I know that. Well, and that wasn't originally going to be the case, but I guess they figured that out, which I think is good for the players. That's great for the players, but still, FSU loses their quarterback, goes out and wins games with dominant defensively, and you can't get in the playoff as the only undefeated conference champion in the history that did not get into the playoff. But Ole Miss loses its coach in the SEC, and you move up a spot in the rankings. Okay. Make sure. And then Miami gets put down after smoking their opponent. Okay. All right. And currently ranked below Notre Dame, who they beat head-to-head. Am I getting this all correct? Oh, okay. All right. Just checking. No. All right. I mean, I'm kind of done with the whole thing, as far as, people pretending like this is some type of objective, subjective, some independent committee. It's the biggest bunch of horse shit in sports. There's no independence to it at all. It's all a dog and pony show, and they're going to pick whoever they want to pick in order to economically make it work for ESPN and the SEC and the Big Ten. That's what this is about. Don't get fooled. It's nothing more than that. And it's insulting that we keep putting on this dog and pony show every week like it actually matters. And there's, computations being done, and people are thinking about things very deeply and watching games. No, they're not. Who was it? It was Urban Meyer. It was on a Coward the other day and said,
yeah,
I've talked to many committee members that said they don't even watch the games. They have interns watch them and fill them in because they don't have time. Of course they don't have time. They don't have time to sit down and watch 18 freaking college football games. They don't. Come on. It's let's just stop with the shenanigans and just have some ESPN executive come out like the World Cup and just, all right, here's what we're going to do for our little television tournament here at the end of the year. At least just be upfront about it. Stop with this, strength of schedule and strength of record and blah, 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 blah. It's all horseshit. We'll do whatever the hell we want to further our special interest. It's like everything else. Okay. Rant over. Back to Brian Hartline. Yeah, this is a very I think I like this. I think this is a splash hire too.
Big time.
I would say this is a splash hire. And you looked at some of the other candidates that were up there, and I hadn't seen Brian Hartline's name mentioned anywhere. Frankly, there was no really connection to USF that I know of. Which I think it's good. It really shows you that they did a thorough search. It wasn't just, hey guys, who do you think? Get a bunch of Derek and Rob in the room. Hey, what do you think? Who's good? No, they did a very thorough search, obviously nationwide search, and found a guy that has been extremely successful, an up and comer, a young guy. Now, this does not fit a lot of folks in the USF Twitter sphere would say we need an older guy who's going to stay here and not use this as a stepping stone, which I get that. Totally understand that. This is not that. In no way is that. But I don't think necessarily that getting an older guy who's going to stay is. I don't think it's a terrible idea, but it's hard to find. It's really hard to find because even if Gruden came here and did really, really well, had won 10 games, 11 games, won a conference championship, obviously the SEC big dogs will be knocking on the door with tons of money. You think he would stay? I don't know. I don't. My guess is probably not, because everybody likes to be loved and is competitive and wants to move up and be as good as they can and get it into the big dance, obviously. So I don't even know if that's a thing. If you can get somebody who's going to be loyal to your school and stay when people are doubling and tripling their salary and giving them much better opportunities. It's just, that's a hard deal. So I don't even know if that concept works. What I do know works is you go hire a great coach who's energetic, up and coming, has something to prove, and you're going to get his best. And that's what you want. And if he moves on, fine. He gave you his best, and if he moves on, that means he was extremely successful here. That's what you're looking for. That's the ultimate goal, is it not? We want to win games. We want to win games. You want to win some games, but at least the guy stay here. What is he, your grandpa? What is he coming over for? We want to make sure he comes every Christmas. No, I don't care about that. Win games. That's what I care about. Win games. If I said, oh, you can have, a certain coach, but he'll be here for the next 15 years, but he's going to be, 8-4 every year. But he'll be here. He's not leaving. He'll be loyal to you. You good with that? Or would you rather have a every 3 years have to go find another hot shot that comes in and improves your program? I'll take the latter. Give me the young guy who's energetic, who's trying to prove himself, an up-and-comer, who's got a great resume, has been there, sees the template of national championships, knows how to run a big-time program because he's been in it. Smart, affable. Hey, listen, being telegenic and charismatic doesn't hurt in this business. That's for damn sure. And he's all that. And so is our next guest, the great TJ Rives, joining us here. Media icon. What's up, TJ? How are you, my friend?
Always the Hall of Fame segue from you. Good morning. Timmy, I'm checking with you post-Thanksgiving. How's the plumbing? All good?
Everything is well.
All right.
The Aggies beat Florida State on Friday. That's the only Friday game I cared about with the Aggies.
God, did they put it on them? JP, if we made mention this morning amidst the barrage.
So did Georgia last night.
I was about to say, amidst the barrage of what we're talking about, what did I see? 119. What is that? 119.73? Is that what I saw last night from Georgia in Tallahassee in the ACC SEC Challenge? A little ugly there.
It was 109.
109. Excuse me.
Back it off. I think it was 109.
They only got
back it off.
They only got a 109 burger last night on Luke Lauk's. Might want to mix in a little defense. Got to have a little defense in life. Listen, I'll travel whatever avenue you want to travel.
Well, they looked really good against Florida a couple weeks ago. They looked really good. Yeah,
they did.
Hey, I'm going to duck out real quick because I got a little lag. So you two kids chat for a second while I jump.
Timmy and I will talk over the whole situation here with Texas A&M, and Ole Miss, and Alabama, and Georgia. And anybody
Miami,
else, including Oklahoma, that's lurking in the SEC, Texas that's lurking in the SEC. Then we have Miami lurking. Mm-hmm. Then in your part of the world, I wish I could be there. BYU, Texas Tech, the rematch is going to be interesting as well.
I will be there.
Because
Stadium.
What's going to happen if BYU wins the rematch? They can't leave Texas Tech all the way out after they've had them like in the top 5 for the last 3 weeks. This is going to be a circus.
Texas Tech is in either way. Texas Tech win and you're in, obviously. BYU is out. BYU wins, which they won't. BYU is in and Texas Tech is in. We could have 2 Big 12 teams in the college football playoff.
Could be.
Which means a team like Miami and a team like Texas are definitely not going to make it.
You agree, and I'm sure JP will echo this. Notre Dame is going to be in. It's a television product.
Of course.
So Notre Dame is going to be in, right, JP?
Of course.
So the only question becomes if BYU hops in as the second team, this is the theory as you were jumping back in. If they hop in as the second Big 12 team, who does that nix? It's got to nix. I mean, certainly Georgia could beat Alabama, and that makes life easier because that's a third loss for Alabama. You say goodbye to them. But if Alabama wins the game, who do you nix out of that bracket right there? If BYU joins the party, JP, in that, they're not getting rid of Notre Dame. So at that point, are you I guess Oklahoma would be the team you get rid of if Alabama wins the game. And then what are we doing with the ACC? And an at-large Miami team. And, I mean, there are a lot of programs right now hoping, praying, wanting Duke to win that game because Duke has no hope of being on that bracket right there that we see on the screen.
No.
But if they're the conference champion, they're in, right?
They do not have to take them. If they are below 12, they do not have to take them. And at that point, they can take who they want, which would likely be Miami as the ACC representative. I don't think they can get away with calling Notre Dame the ACC representative, even though they played several ACC games. So this could be, as we like to say in my house when the Twins were littler, we got a first-class mess on our hands here with you two, with whatever they've been doing. This could be a first-class mess on Sunday morning.
Okay, so it's my understanding. So this year is different than last year as far as the format is different. Even though we're still on the 12 team, the format is different. So the 5 highest ranked conference champions earn automatic bids, right?
That's correct.
The next 7 non-conference champions will earn the wild card spots. From there, the 12 teams in the field will be seeded by ranking, regardless of whether or not they won their conference.
That's correct. So there's your loophole and why you see the 2 Brown conference champion 4 and conference champion 5, because the scenario exists. Again, you saw Hunter Yurachek, the Arkansas AD last night, who at times it looks like the only thing that's missing is the bright light from him for the deer in the headlights. They asked him, could you have a team or more than one that are not in this 12 that entered the 12 here, even if they didn't play this weekend? That's Miami, who he's talking about. Yeah, so the answer is yes. Well, furthermore, like Virginia is not in that 12. So if Virginia wins the game, they're going to put Virginia in one of those 2 slots that are Brown, the 11 or the 12. But if Duke wins the game with 5 losses, they're not going to do that. So that would open the door in that case to put Miami in. But what do you do again if BYU, who's lurking outside the 12, has only the 1 loss to Texas Tech, avenges that loss? Timmy will be there. JP, he was saying that to the audience and to me. Timmy will be there. That could start the domino effect of what happens if BYU wins, what happens if Alabama goes ahead and wins. Now, what are you going to do with the rest of that bracket? And they love this. This is what they want. They want the arguing. They want the debate. This fuels the whole thing.
I'm here to tell you, if Alabama loses in the SEC championship game and has a 3rd loss, they're done. They're not.
No, they're
not.
I think they're out.
They're out.
They're done. Watch. They're done. They're done. They're done. Because they can justify. They had them out last year.
You underestimate the lack of integrity of this committee. They are all in for the SEC, and they're not going to penalize Alabama because they
had them out last year. They had them out last year with the 3rd loss. They're going to say don't lose 3 games. Same thing.
And that would be Miami's spot. Then Miami gets in.
And then same thing with your Texas Longhorns. Don't lose 3 games. Don't lose to 4-8 Florida. Don't lose 3 games because the 3rd game. You know, and this goes back to the other argument. And I know you want to move on. Of do these teams really want to play the conference championship game? Because right now Alabama's in. You see their name right there at number 9 on your screen. The only thing they can do is lose and be out. So, and the same argument could probably be made for Texas Tech. Texas Tech's got a secure spot. Why do they need to play another game? But there you go on.
And see, this is my argument to get rid of conference championship games now, and just like we used to do in the day, just name your regular season champion. And if there's 2 2-win or 2-loss teams, then you're co-champions, just like we did for 150 years.
I feel you on that. The problem is these conferences are too bloody big because we've got the 18-team Big 10 where nobody plays anybody. Indiana is sitting right there at number 2, having not played Ohio State, having not played Michigan, having not played Penn State, they did play Penn State, and they beat them in the last second game. But the only team on that list they played out of the top teams in the Big Ten, out of Ohio State and Michigan, is Oregon. That they played and they beat. They deserved that. Oregon, Ohio State's only game against the top, their only game against the top ones is Michigan. They didn't play Indiana. They didn't play Oregon in this. So my point is the Big Ten is so big. The SEC will eventually be so big at 16, going to 18, maybe going to more. They don't play each other enough in the conference to distinguish who's the champ unless you have a championship game. So,
and then you're going to have to shorten the regular season schedule, though.
Well, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
But the championship games need to be part of the playoff.
I agree.
That's my solution.
Well,
those championship games are part of the. You have two divisions.
But that's what they have. To your point, that's what they have with the automatic entries, and why 11 and 12 are left blank right there.
Right.
Because essentially those are going to be playoff games for the American Conference Friday night, for James Madison maybe, and certainly for Virginia and Duke all the way on Saturday night. It's going to be.
Look, this is the same argument we have in the NFL. If you win your division, you're automatically in, regardless of what your record is. Like if you're under 500, you can be 8 and 9 and make the freaking playoffs. It happens all the time.
Yes, of course it does. It
happens. But now we're running into that in college football, where you might win your conference, but you're not the best team from that conference.
All right. So before I have to scoot here in a few, I'm going to put different hats on. I know you probably want to talk about this because the news is breaking right here on the JP Peterson Show. Yes. The name is Brian Hartline from Ohio State, and it's everywhere that's who it is apparently going to be. And what do we know about Brian Hartline? We know several things. Former player, obviously, on, I believe, one of their national championship teams. Mm-hmm. He's been a longtime assistant under Urban Meyer and now Ryan Day. And, oh, by the way, wide receiver coach as well. I wonder if we've seen JP Peterson, any Ohio State wide receivers make an impact over the last 4 or 5 years in the NFL. Shall we have the list of Chris Olave, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Marvin Harrison Jr.? Heard of any of these guys? Emeka Egbuka as a new one as well for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And by the way, they have another one coming. Jeremiah Smith is a first-round caliber pick coming out of Ohio State as well, coming to the draft.
Might be better than all of them.
But maybe. And Brian Hartline has been their position coach. So
and their recruiter.
Yes.
He recruited all of those guys.
And he's been recruiting in Florida too. So all of these things stacked up. Again, I don't know Brian Hartline. I don't work for USF, JP. They're not paying me to say this, but this is a solid, if not really good hire.
Spectacular hire.
The guy. Because
I wish he was the coach at Florida State.
There was a lot. Oh, there you go. There's been a lot of belief he was going to be the Penn State dark horse and be the Penn State coach. I never could see that the Ohio State guy was going to go to Penn State before something else. So if this is the guy, and all the media reports of the last half hour confirmed about 5 different places are he's taken the job, they're hiring him, announcement forthcoming. Bulls fans, all I'm saying, on the face, be happy with that hire. JP, I don't know if you went over that before I came on.
I did.
Or not.
I did.
With your thoughts, but I'm going to echo
the motion.
I second your second there on that.
Yes. We did all that right off the top, and he's spectacular. Obviously I didn't see his name in the mix, but he's also the 2020 Recruiter of the Year by 247 Sports. So he's an outstanding recruiter. He's a play caller. He's obviously tremendous in developing players. Like his development skills at wide receiver are tremendous. What kind of staff will he bring with him? Will he take some of the Ohio State guys? We got some people on the ground here in Columbus we're going to get to here in a second.
Timmy's right there in the wheelhouse too with FanStream.
That's right.
In Columbus, FanStream Sports Ohio.
And we're gonna lean on them this morning. Tito's going to join us, and we'll get some of our Ohio State guys on to find out who this guy is. And I think it's a great hire. Yeah, I wanted Anthony Beck to get the job. No question about it. I think he would have been a tremendous hire. But obviously Brian Hartline's worked within a national championship organization and has a great template to which to work, and will bring all of that to USF. I'm extremely excited. I think this is tremendous. And, and again, this just goes to show you where USF is right now and how highly regarded this job is. Cause I think you're right. I think Brian Hartline, I would think, would have had his pick of jobs around the nation. I'm shocked USF got him. I mean, in terms with all the openings that were open, and I don't mean to dismiss, sorry, USF, but you're not LSU. You're not Auburn.
There's a lot about this job that appeals, and I caught the very end of what you were saying on he's smart enough to see what Alex Golesh just did, which is if you win for a year or two, and look at Chris Sumrall now with Florida, who's been at Tulane for 2 years as the head coach. John Sumrall, excuse me. I said Chris, the new Gators coach. if you win for a couple of years at one of these situations, at one of the group of 5 schools, it's a launching pad now for the SEC or the Big Ten. So don't think for a second that Heartline isn't in that same category of, if I do really well for a year or two, I'm going to be, and maybe only for a year, I'm going to be an ultra hot name on the next cycle or in 2 cycles in 2027. I'm going to be a hot name. But for right now, this, again, I applaud this from Rob Higgins, from Derek Brooks, and everybody else that's pulling this off. And let's see what the contract is. Let's see what the buyout is. There's only so much you can do. I mean, my Memphis Tigers, these guys
ruin my day with the buyout.
They're in the same boat, the Memphis Tigers, with, we got to lure somebody. We're in the heart of the SEC melting pot. We know if that coach does well, that coach is going to look to jump to the SEC or to the Big 12.
Bring back Mike Norvell. Bring back Mike Norvell.
You want Norvell to come back to Memphis. I see.
Absolutely. We'll fly him there first class.
Florida State.
Chant 1 is fueled up as we speak.
Seminole argument.
Tarmac. Somebody get a limo from the Moore Center and get his ass over there.
All right. We'll see what my Tigers do. But again, for Memphis, for Tulane, and for South Florida, I mean, you're vying again. USF's in the biggest market of all of those. Probably has the most NIL money. I mean, there's a lot to like here for Heartline if he's trying to choose this up. Let's see what happens. All right. Do you have you want a couple of moments of this?
Yes,
you want to talk some time for this? Yes. I noticed Timmy disappeared, but that's okay. Hopefully all is good with the internet and everything else. He'll be back with us.
He's working on getting us our Ohio State people.
Beautiful. Let him go to work on that. What about the BUCCANEERS? Go Bucs, and back on the winning track, and now the Saints coming this week. What else you got?
Well, listen, your little moment with Peter Blake after I handed you the mic on our postgame show went viral as you told all these Buccaneer fans that are wishing that we – are there actually Buccaneer fans that are wishing we lose games so Todd Bowles gets fired? Yeah, they actually are, because they're in our –
We went through that last year too.
Yeah, and they did it 2 years ago. All right, so let's just discuss a couple of things. All right, so first of all, I have much love for you. I have much love for Peter. I've come on with you guys all the time. I love coming on with you guys. I came on after the game. You got great engagement. You got great audience wanting the post-game show, and Peter hustles his butt off to hook all that equipment up and produce it himself and be able to go live with fan interaction and calls at the stadium as a one-man band. He's doing a great job. So Peter was joking around with me and said, in the vein of, now that the Bucs have won this game, can you say what you said a couple of years ago when I went on the rant on the Nothing But Bucs podcast? I came on your show saying this too. I was on a 2 or 3 week period saying the same thing. There were people at that time in 2023 wanting the team, the kids' phrase today is crash out, wanting Todd Bowles to crash out, wanting the Buccaneers to crash out, fire Bowles. What are you doing winning a couple of games here in late November to only hurt your draft pick? And that's when I had heard enough, because there was still like a month left in the season. You could win the division and make the playoffs. And what I said then, what I am clearly saying now on the galactically famous JP Peterson Show is, in this situation where it could go either way, if you are rooting for your team to lose so that you can fire the coach, then to me, you're not a true fan. And that's where I went, go away. I will hold the door. The rest of us want to enjoy the stretch run of the season. I don't want to hear about the draft pick for next year. And there will be plenty of time down the road to litigate whether Todd Bowles has done enough or not to remain the head coach. I'm here to tell you that a win on Sunday followed by a win against the Atlanta Falcons more than demonstrates once again that the team is responding to him when you need it the most, making the playoffs again. You could do a lot worse. And they did a lot worse in the 2010s with the coaching odyssey, trying to wander through the wilderness of, can we have a winning season, a single winning season? So again, out of the vein of, if you are rooting for the team to lose, to get the coach fired, get out. I will hold the door.
Get out of here.
Get out.
Get out of here.
You know who else doesn't want to hear about the draft pick? Is the players and the coaches.
That's exactly right.
They're there to win. They don't care about any of that stuff. They're trying to win games. And for you to say, as a alleged fan, well, we just need to lose out so we get a better draft pick. You are a terrible fan. Stop
and let's see if this creates a viral moment for JP. JP, I've been in the media. here for about 35 years. You've been in the media here now for going on about 30, right?
Yes, sir.
We are in the legitimate media. I don't pay a whole lot of attention to frauds that are perpetrating that they are the media with their blog site that are aggregating content or whatever. That ain't the media. I'm not.
I have Edward R. Murrow Awards, is what you're saying.
I had 2 or 3 people contact me about, oh, did you see this? You're on JoeBucksFan.com. And my answer was back, and what? And so, yeah, I'm not concerned with the pretend media. I'm not concerned with people that aggregate everybody else's content and act like they're in the media. Obviously, I want the team to win. I want the team to win every game. I work for the team, etc. And again, I could go on and on about this. One of the clowns, and they are clowns, took a bunch of cheap shots at me about 10 years ago because they were trying to get clicks and views and whatever else, and now walks around me like, I don't know that it's him. I know who I know who it is, and I know who it was. So anyway, while we just distinguish here, maybe this will be a viral. Maybe this will be a viral moment for them too, because now they'll follow up and they'll print all of this out. Just so long as you get the first part right, which they did, which is if you are rooting for the Buccaneers to crash out, like the kids say, go away. Go away. And I worry more about the legitimate media than the pseudo media. The not
Rives bringing it hard.
Hey, I'm here. I'm here to deliver the goods on a Wednesday, and let's see what happens. I'm going to roll with Baker Mayfield and the Bucs, and this matchup against the Saints, a team that you've had a lot of success against. And then it's going to get fascinating with the Thursday night quick turnaround, and then this battle with Carolina on December the 21st. And this is what you want. If you're a fan, be there, be loud. You've got 2 opportunities here to greatly influence these 2 games, and a whole lot sets up for you once you get to 8-5 and once you get to 9-5. So stay tuned.
And we're both here to tell you neither one of these games is going to be easy. Neither one. No. They're going to be absolute freaking dogfights because they're division games.
Can I paint a scenario for you?
Sure.
If Atlanta, and I haven't even looked at it right now, Atlanta this weekend is where and against who, and it doesn't really matter because they're now 4-8. If Atlanta loses and is losing in that game come Sunday, at what point do they try Kyle Trask? And at what point do they bring Kyle Trask out for the Thursday night game against the Buccaneers?
0 chance.
You don't think so?
There's 0 chance.
I disagree. I disagree.
He and I have been at this a long time around here. Don't say 0.
Yeah.
Don't say what is the status with that? I don't even know. I'm just speculating. I'm just putting that out there.
Barring an injury, right?
Yeah.
Is he the number? Yeah. He's behind Cousins now because Penix is not. Yeah,
and clearly, Kirk Cousins is not the future. Michael Penix is injured, so we have to figure out. I mean, at some point,
who knows this Bulls defense better than Kyle Trask?
Who's going to have an opportunity to play for them? I'm just double checking on whether they elevated him. They still have Easton Stick. I don't see that they've elevated Kyle Trask as of yet. So, do they elevate him coming up?
He's not even on the depth chart.
But I just looked, and is he on the practice squad? And do they elevate him coming up? Because again, if Atlanta. They have nothing to play for here.
Yeah.
What do they do? Stay tuned. Stay tuned for that. But yeah, these 2 games are not, I mean, you're going to have to take care of business. You're going to have to be sharper than what you were on Sunday. You got away with being sharper. Hey, while I'm, I got to go here in about 2 or 3 minutes. While I'm slinging,
you have to go.
Slinging many more knives. I got a live show with the BetUS College Basketball Show, and I promise we won't talk a ton about Florida State. We're going to talk more about Duke and Florida. What a finish to that game. What a finish to Kentucky and North Carolina last night.
Yeah.
Ooh, so we got a lot of that to talk about. Timmy's Aggies looking really good, though, by the way, in the SEC ACC Challenge because they pummeled, they took it to Pitt last night in the ACC. But one more thing. All this gaga over the New England Patriots, I get that they've won the 10 games in a row. It's incredible that they've put this together when they have been so laughably bad the last 2 or 3 years. But the schedule that they have played is so horrific. And I'm bringing this back to the Bucs here with this. New England did not play a stretch of 8 games out of 10 against teams with winning records that are playoff contenders, like the Buccaneers just came off of before they played the Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
The Patriots playing the 1-win Titans and the Browns and the Jets and the Dolphins and the Saints, all the different teams that they have gotten to play in this stretch, just settle down on how great this is for Mike Vrabel, et cetera. And by the way, at the end of the season here, they're only going to play one more team with a winning record. They've played 3 teams, New England, with a winning record. That's Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Buccaneers. They're 2-1. They play one more team right now with a winning record, and that's Buffalo in their next game when they come off the bye. They will have played 17 games and 4 teams with winning records. And right now, because their schedule is just awful this year.
Last place schedule, yeah.
Yeah, because they were bad last year, yeah.
They were bad, and they have had the good fortune of playing a long stretch of teams that are bad, and you can get away with certain things, and that's going to kind of be.
They're blowing them out too.
Bring it back to this. Yeah. Bring it back to this for Sunday. You're playing a bad team. Be smart. Take care of the ball. Don't get penalties. Don't help them out with turnovers, and you've got a chance to now be 8-5 at that point, with a chance 4 days later to find a way to beat Atlanta, throw back orange on that night. And if you're 9-5, you are in great shape to go on to win the division and make the playoffs. Sure, the Carolina game looming on December 21st is large. Everybody knows that.
You got to get through these 2 first, boss.
But if you get to these two, and you get through these 2, you've helped yourself with cushion. Let's see if they can get that.
If they win the next 3 weeks, they're in the playoffs.
I would agree with that. And if you win the next 2, you're really set up that you only have to have 2 of the last 3 to guarantee the playoffs, and maybe only 1 of the last 3. But you don't want it to come down to the last 2 weeks on having to win and like a winner take all final game having to win. Just take care of business at home. We've been talking about this for a month, this 3-game stretch. Now it's here. Take advantage of those games, my friend.
Got to do it. All right, my friend. Great stuff. Thank you, TJ.
Always great to be with you.
I'll be looking for the Joe Bucs fan.
I'm sure.
Article.
You'll be the one out of the 3 of us that will look for that.
I'll see.
Behave
them soon at $1 place.
Yeah, behave, and we will go from there and see what happens on Sunday.
We just have another announcement. The documentary series will be on Amazon Prime starting December 11th.
How cool is that with the Buccaneers?
Cannot wait. 10-part
series, I think I saw.
Yeah. And TJ will be featured prominently.
We shall see. Who knows? I'll show up like JP? Where's Waldo on all this. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
All right.
See you.
Have a great show.
Good to be with you. We'll see you Sunday.
Woo, man, there's a lot going on right now. Woo.
There's a
Lordy.
Including no power in my building, JP.
How are you doing this?
So I don't know how our building is wired, but me and like every suite that's on this floor here, we'll have these stretches where the power goes out in all of our outlets, but our lights stay on. So like all my TVs are off, all of this went off because it was plugged in right here. Well, I've learned my lesson doing this. And I've plugged everything into a couple of outlets or of surge protectors right under the table. And then I have that connected to a big ass gauge extension cord. So when it all went off, I ran the extension cord out to the hallway where I know has power on the other side of the hallway. And I'm running off my neighbor's extension cord. And so I have power to the table and to the studio equipment. I just don't have power to the big camera because it's plugged in somewhere else. And so I have my little camera and I have the board. And so that's why none of the TVs are on. But our lights work. I don't know what's going on.
Well, you saved it. Your incredibly, your MacGyver talents are never
I had
ending.
A paper clip, a marble, and a used condom. And I was able to put it all together.
That's all you need. Are we getting Tito or any of our Ohio State people to jump on?
Tito will be with us in 15 minutes.
All right, cool. And Erik Erlendsson is going to join us at 11:15. So we'll do Tito right at the top of the 11. All right, perfect. Yep. So other news coming in from our esteemed people here in our comments saying that Hartline is staying on at Ohio State through the playoffs is honorable, but at the end you can't get better publicity for USF. Yes. Yeah, so he's going to stay on. What a concept, letting the coach stay on to coach through the playoffs. That's interesting. And like USF's not having a conniption about it. That's great.
I feel like it's a little bit different situation with Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss.
No, I don't.
I just think that ended badly.
Yeah, and because the Ole Miss got butthurt. That's why it ended badly. Their egos got butthurt, and they would rather go to the playoff without their play caller and their head coach than I still don't see the issue. It's just he's going to steal players. They're going to go anyway.
Yeah, this whole thing about, well, we don't want him to have contact with our players. Do you not think he's got every player's phone number where he can text them this entire time?
Right.
Phone and call them?
Like, is there something he's going to say now that's going to put it over the top? No. They're coming anyway. It just like,
and everybody's saying that he allowed Charlie Weiss Jr. to go back to coach because that's his guy on the inside who's going to try to sway all these players now.
So stupid.
And he can do that via text. That's the stupidest argument I've ever heard.
Paranoia. It's butt hurt. It's egos. It's stupid. It's really, really stupid. And Ole Miss, it's about stay in the moment, folks. It's like what we just talked about with the Bucs. Am I thrilled to watch Todd Bowles' defense over the rest of the season? No. Do I think this team needs some juice at the head coaching spot? Yes, I do. Do I think Todd's going to get us over the top to the Super Bowl? No, I don't. I love Todd. I think he's fantastic, but I just don't think he's at that level. And it's interesting. There's a viral video going around of him bringing his players up right before the last defensive series. After they gave up the booty the whole game, He brought everybody together and aired them out right there on the sideline. And I was like, wow. And guess what they did? They went out and stopped him in 4 plays. First time I've ever seen Todd get in their faces on the sideline in the moment. And they were all looking at him like, holy crap.
Who is
this guy's pissed? Who's it? And you know what they did? They went out and played with some energy, and they went out and played with some fire on that series, and they got off the damn field. And while people would say, oh, well, see, Bowles' defense did it. Yeah, they did. And he finally got up in somebody's grill, which we've been begging for forever, in the place of these players who were just laying down. They were just going through the motions on Sunday defensively. Go turn on the tape. Now, some guys are playing hard. The majority are not, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And he got up in their face, and look what happened to those final 4 plays. You go turn on the tape. Look at the energy level on that series compared to the other 2 series where they went right down the field. And he also was at least aggressive on one of those plays, and I think 2 of them actually blitzed on 2 of the plays, and it worked. So that for what it is. But listen, but I'm not wishing that the team loses. Stay where you are. This is your season. I want them to win every game. I want Bowles to get fiery like he did and motivate these guys because clearly they need it. And I'm not wishing them. It's just like Ole Miss. Like, this is your season. Play it out. Don't worry about. You're so worried about the future at Ole Miss. Oh, we don't want him stealing our players. We don't want him doing this. Because we're going to win a national championship in the future. We're worried about what? Getting back to 11-1 and getting into the playoff like you are now. Like you are now? That's what you're working towards? I got news for you. You'd never done it before. You're probably not going to do it again. So my advice to you is to stay where your feet are and stay in the moment and do everything you can now with this chance that this group of players that you have right now that's going into the playoff, because you're not going to get this chance. I won't say you're not, but it's going to be a long time before you get this chance again. History tells us. So you want to get butthurt and be paranoid? Go get him out of here, because we can go do this. Okay, good luck with that. Good luck with that. Ole Miss, good luck.
Joel Forsland brought up a good point here, JP, on that note. Ohio State and USF aren't conference rivals. So it's a little, it is. So
it's different, but what's different? The emotion.
Yeah.
The emotion is different.
Sure.
Emotion should not be part of this. It should be calculated decisions, leadership decisions, Not, oh, I have to live here in Oxford, and they don't want you around. Well, show some leadership and tell your fans we do want him around. It's a business, and he's going to be ours for the next month and a half while we win an effing national championship. And then you can get pissed at him, go to the airport, and kick him out the door. But right now, we're going to go win a national championship.
Until the 30 for 30 comes out on this and I'm proven wrong, I'm blaming Lane Kiffin for all of this. I still think he handled this horribly.
How could he have Let's take a break, and Tim's going to opine and tell us how he could have done it better on the other side. He has all the answers of how he could have done it better. And I can't wait to hear.
I just have opinions.
I can't wait to hear how this is magically going to be done better with this calendar, how Lane could have handled it better. I cannot wait.
It's not what I'm okay. I'll make it up.
You're going to have to, because it's impossible. We're brought to you by the great folks at the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVES lawgroup.com. They're local, they're trusted, and they get results. If you're in an accident, you got to call them. Go to the website, jeeveslawgroup.com. You can email them, call them, get your free case evaluation. And great folks over there. They'll take care of you. Non-attorney spokesman, offices Tampa and St. Pete. And, of course, Genesis of Tampa, a great car dealership, great in the community. Just handed over 90 turkeys, dinners to folks at Metropolitan Ministries the other day. They got Toy Drive coming up as well in December. And you know what else? They have great cars, and they have great deals, especially at the end of the year. So get on over there. Check out the GV70, the GV80, and the technology, the value in this car is amazing. Genesis of Tampa, 801 East Bears Avenue. Back in 3. Stay with us. Experience the art of driving at Genesis of Tampa, where luxury meets innovation and every detail is crafted for you. From the bold G70 to the refined GV80, Genesis delivers power, elegance, and technology years ahead of its time. Book service online, and our Genesis Experience advisors will pick you up and drop off your vehicle. If available, you can enjoy a courtesy car while yours gets a complimentary interior vacuum plus a generous offer for your trade. Every new Genesis comes with the Miracle Advantage Plan, 10 years or 250,000 miles of powertrain warranty and 4 years of complimentary maintenance. Visit us at 801 East Bears Avenue or online at genesisoftampa.com. Genesis of Tampa, luxury redefined. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week, so go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com. Although it may seem tempting to go without health care insurance, the financial risk far outweighs the gain you may experience. For example, did you know if you simply broke your leg, it could cost you nearly $7,500? Put on top of that a hospital stay, you could be looking at $10,000 to $15,000. Ensuring that you don't go uncovered is so important, as according to CNBC, high medical bills are the highest contributing factor to why Americans end up taking money out of their retirement savings, or worse, find themselves filing bankruptcy. So go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. Now, depending on your income, you can get plans for zero premium. Our experts will guide you through the process effortlessly. They will shop many plans and find the one that's right for you. I called and I have full health coverage through Florida Blue for zero monthly premium. It's a free call. So why go uncovered? It's a huge risk. Go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. That's 800-669-1505. Are you having legal issues with a business partner or other legal business issues? The attorneys at Walters, Levine, and DeGrave can help. Call 800-616-0384 for a free consultation. At Walters, Levine, and DeGrave, we've redefined what a law firm can be with top-tier attorneys, personal service, and 26 years of success. From business law to civil litigation, we deliver smart, client-focused solutions. Walters, Levine, and DeGrave recently won a $6.4 million jury verdict from a large real estate developer, and they can win win for you too. Walters, Levine, and DeGrave. Let's solve it together. Not a 30 spokesman. For a free consultation, call 800-616-0384 or go to walterslevine.com. Offices Tampa, Sarasota.
Let's go. Right now. Back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. I want to remind you that the Orlando Magic are on fire, folks. They've won 3 games in a row, and you can watch them on free over-the-air TV on MOR TV this Sunday at noon as they take on the New York Knickerbockers. Paulo Banchero, Franz Wagner going up against the Big Cat, Karl Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson. It's a great rivalry, the Knicks and the Magic. You can watch it at noon on MOR TV, free over the air. MOR, by the way, is our local Orlando Magic partner now. Catch all the high-flying action on Digital 32.1 or on Spectrum and Frontier Cable Channel 12. MOR TV on the Orlando Magic. We have a new promotion agreement with them, so we're hyping up the Magic game coming up this Sunday. And they got the Spurs tonight. They got and then they got the Knicks coming up on Sunday. And they're on a 3-game heater right now.
Catching really the Spurs team without Wemby.
That's right. Spurs are 14-6 too. The Magic are 13-8. They're 5th in the East. Playing really, really good basketball. Fun to watch. Banchero's absolutely fantastic. Wagner, Bain, really good team. And I think they got a shot to do some damage in the East this year. So you can now watch them on MOR TV for free. So you don't need any of those silly apps. You can just go.
JP,
right
the Orlando TV. Magic made me $25 a couple of weeks ago.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
I don't bet on basketball.
Mm-hmm.
However, I was at the bar listening to 2 knuckleheads argue over who drafted Shaquille O'Neal. Was it the Lakers or was it the Heat? And I sat for about 15 minutes and listened to these guys argue. No, man, it was the Heat. And they're not like looking on their phone or anything. They just both think that they know. They are so sure.
Yeah.
That they're not even checking it. And I just leaned in and I went, I bet you $25 you guys are both wrong. And I tried to go 25 each.
Right.
And they were like, no, we'll do 25. I was like, yeah, because you don't know. And sure enough, when I said the Orlando Magic, they were like, oh, God, this is the easiest money I'm going to make. I'm like, I'm not even going to look it up for you. You just look it up. And sure enough,
when
they were like,
that, they didn't go, oh, yeah, remember?
No, dude, they were. And then I asked their age. One of them was 19 and the other one was 24.
Oh, there you go. There you go. They never even heard of Penny Hardaway in Shaq.
No, they didn't know who Penny Hardaway was because I asked.
How about that? Yeah. Interesting. All right, we got a super chat from Jimmy J. Voyager, $4.99. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Says, thoughts on Ray's rumors on Marte? I still prefer the kid from the Angels for the outfield. Yeah, Joe Adell. Marte's interesting. Any power-hitting outfielder I'm in on, and I think that's where they're going. We did this yesterday on the O Show, by the way. If you're a Rays fan, you got to go watch yesterday's O Show. Really, really good. We broke down all the possible deals that could be made, and we came up with this great lineup. But I'll just do this real quick because Tito's up. They're going to move Chandler Simpson. We believe that they should, not they're going to, but should trade Brandon Lau at the height of his worth, basically at 31 years old with a bad back. Let's get rid of him and open up second base for Chandler Simpson. That's his natural position. That's what he's always played coming up. So put him at the top of the order. You have Chandler Simpson on the leadoff. Going to hit 315, steal 100 bags, score 100 runs. Yandy Diaz in the 2-hole with his 23 home runs and his batting title, hitting well over 300. Junior Caminero in the 3-hole. Then you have Marte, which is rumored. You could do that, or you could have Joe Adell and his 36 home runs in the cleanup spot. Then you have Aranda, all-star first baseman, hitting over 320 bombs in the 5-hole. Josh Lowe, and if he can return to any type of form in the 6-hole, then we go out and we get JT Real Muto to be the catcher. Veteran catcher, little bit of pop, really good defensively, but brings that gravitas to the catcher spot that you need. And then you have Carson Williams or Taylor Walls at short, batting 8th, and then Mangum or who's the other guy? DeLuca playing center, batting ninth. That's a hell of a lineup right there. You stick a big bat like Marte or Adele right in the middle of that. That's good stuff. All right.
JP, anything to the rumors that they're bringing Christopher Morel, your favorite Ray, back?
Shut the fuck up. God, if I saw that, we're going to put him right in the middle of that lineup. Bat him fourth. Yeah.
Woo. Base.
All right. Tito ready? Is Tito ready to fill us in? This is what we do here, folks. Breaking news as we go from FanStream Sports Tampa Bay, where Brian Hartline has just been not announced, but is rumored by Pete Thamel, not even rumored, I guess, reported to be the new head coach at USF, coming from Ohio State, where our man, Tito, Fit Happens, has been covering this team since he was like an amoeba.
It does happen.
Is going to tell us what exactly Brian Hartline is all about. What's up, partner? How are you?
Wait, Hartline's leaving?
Breaking news!
Allegedly.
Well, he's going to USF, for God's sakes.
There was an old SNL skit they did on the 20th anniversary of the JFK assassination, and nobody on the panel, that was their first time hearing about it 20 years later. Hartline, a bit of a surprise he's heading to USF. Not a surprise he's leaving necessarily. He was not going to be at Ohio State forever. There was talk about Penn State. There was talk about Kentucky. This USF thing kind of came out of nowhere. And, I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised. I thought he might be here a couple more years as the OC before taking a job, but he's going to stay with Ohio State through the playoff, it looks like, which is fine. Tough loss for Ohio State. It really is. He's done great things for Ohio State, turned them into wide receiver but it's a good opportunity for him. And I imagine he'll be at USF for 2-3 years. He'll do great there, and then he'll go on to his next big gig.
Yeah. And that's fine. I mean, we don't even need to talk about that, but because it's true, it's probably true, and that should be great. Or if they move into a P4 conference, maybe he wants to stay and build something there, and that would be tremendous. Tell us about Hartline, the coach, and the man.
Okay, so Hartline, first of all, you guys know from down in Miami, he was a solid NFL receiver, had a great career at Ohio State, and hit the ground running as far as being a coordinator. First, like he was an assistant. I think it was like a offensive, what did they call it back? Analyst or something like that. Before he's like an assistant QB. Yeah, something like that is what he did. But he has found a way to really connect with younger players. You could see by the wide receiver U thing, the fact he was able to do what he was able to do at Ohio State with all these first-round draft picks coming through. He has learned a lot and has benefited from being under the stead of Ryan Day. Ryan Day, to me, is, fine, homer, whatever, the ultimate college football coach as far as the way he's managed this and the Ohio State thing and turned it into, he's a CEO that certainly has this program on a roll. And I think Hartline's learned a lot from him about building relationships and about the importance of not chasing you won't see Ohio State do what like Michigan did with Underwood, their quarterback, where you pay him like all this money up front. Ryan Day and Ohio State have built this culture of paying people based on what they've done, not what they will do. And Hartline's going to take that with him down to South. There's a lot of things he's going to do down there well. I will caution you to, part of the reason Brian Hartline was so good at recruiting receivers at Ohio State always had damn good quarterbacks and damn good offensive line and damn good supporting pieces and all that. It won't be that easy. You won't see him going out and getting, another Jeremiah Smith to South Florida, at least not right away. Doesn't mean it can't work. But it's just like he's not going to turn South Florida into wide receiver U overnight just because there are other pieces involved in it. But Hartline, though, he's an honest guy. He's an upfront guy. And he's not somebody who I worry about going out and doing things. I don't want to say Lane Kiffin-ish, but let's say Lane Kiffin-ish. I don't think you'll see that out of Brian Hartline.
But part of his appeal in recruiting is, yes, he's not going to get these 5-star wide receivers right away,
sure.
but he will go out and tell potential quarterback recruits, I know how to get wide receivers, and they're going to make you look good. They're going to give you outstanding numbers if you come to USF. And I think those two things will play hand in hand. And his experience with recruiting outstanding wide receivers will help the entire team recruiting position-wise for everybody. I think it's just like a snowball effect.
It certainly will. And I think you'll see, Tim, it's a great point. I think what you'll see, though, initially, he'll get like a quarterback that has gone somewhere first. His first quarterback, I got to believe, when he first gets his first, the guy he'll have his hands on
Well, he's got Byron Brown there right now.
Right.
Who should
Brown's
be a Heisman finalist, but we don't know if he's going to stay. But if I've got Hartline coming in, I might think
I would absolutely stay, yes. But you'll see I think what you could see, and this is my instinct telling me this, that if say Ohio State gets a 5-star or 4-star kid that doesn't get the playing time he thought, and maybe in his second or third year he thinks he should be higher on the pecking order, I bet Brian Hartline makes a call. You know what I mean? Like somebody like that. And I'm not saying that USF's going to be a minor league system for Ohio State and vice versa, things like that. I don't think it's going to happen. But I'm just saying having Hartline, though, with the experience he's had, though, and I've thought about this in college football for a while, that it has turned into kind of a minor league baseball hierarchy where you see guys that are great at second-tier schools that then move up. They get promoted to play at the major league level. And guys, likewise, that have a tough time at the top level go backwards and find a way to play. I think you'll see some players from Ohio State do that. I don't think Ohio State's going to lose anybody that's like that they really wanted to USF. But Hartline's going to look. He is going to hit the ground running on this. I love the fact he's going to coach to the playoffs, first of all. But
smart.
I don't think it's going to necessarily have a huge impact on Ohio State. But I do think that Brian Hartline, though, because if you can have that track record with the guys he's had come through the system that have gone to the NFL draft, you bet if I'm not getting the love I want for a Power 4 school, Hartline's my next call.
Yeah. So I want to just, while we got you, I want to drill down a little bit more on him. Do you have any stories about him and recruiting stories or development stories? I mean, the record speaks for itself with the players and, with Olave, Marvin Harrison, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Ibuka, all of them. That speaks for itself. But you've seen this development happen. You've heard coaches or players talk about Hartline. Give us some insight into that.
Well, what I've talked to about with other people that are associated really, really close to the program is just the fact that Hartline is, and you see a lot of Matt Patricia too, but like Hartline, though, is just so good at developing relationships. He is so good about getting onto the level and understanding players. He's not the traditional, like, finger in your chest, you're going to do it this way and whatnot, because I think that he is still, because he was not a prima donna wide receiver. He wasn't like one of those kind of guys. He had to work hard to get what he got. I think that he appreciates that at this level to where he can really connect with players. And like I say, he learned it from day, a way to make the college football experience. One of the rare separators from the college football and NFL are some of the relationships you can build with the players. And I think Hartline's done a great job of that. I think he's learned really well under Ryan Day. I remember, it's so funny you brought that up, that there was a time way back when at the Fan when Hartline's career in the NFL had ended. And by the way, Laurinaitis' career was over as well. And at different times, I think it might have been within like a month or so, they were inside the Fan with us. And actually, I think I hosted a show where Hartline was an extended guest, and like he was thinking about getting into sports media. Same thing with Laurinaitis, who did a show for a while on the Fan, and now look where they're at. That's my other concern, by the way, something to watch for Ohio State fans is will anybody from the staff go to Hartline for a promotion? Laurinaitis is a great example of that. He's the linebackers coach at Ohio State. He's a rising star. He worked with Marcus Freeman at Notre Dame. If there's anybody at the Ohio State level just below the coordinator level that wants to get promoted, you might see them follow him over there to DC. USF.
Yeah, be DC. Yeah. Ooh, that's nice. All right, anything else you want to tell us about Brian Hartline? Anything about Ohio State?
Yeah, with Ohio State, they lost one of their recruits. They had one of the guys flipped to USC. Caden Dixon Wyatt was a guy on signing day today, national early signing day, who flipped to USC from Ohio State. Waiting here on Chris Henry Jr., that's the other stud. I don't think he will flip. I think too many people realize that, yes, they loved Hartline, loved the way they built Hartline, but the opportunity to be a wide receiver at Ohio State, especially next year, just think if you're a wide receiver like Chris Henry Jr. coming in, and on the opposite side is Jeremiah Smith, who gets double and triple teamed, and you've got Julian Sayin, a Heisman candidate quarterback. Yeah. I think that it's certainly going to have a huge effect on something like that, but I'm curious to see who the next OC will be. Chip Kelly's out of a job now. Chip Kelly's somebody who obviously last year had success with Ohio State, took the riches to go to the Raiders, and then gets fired after 11 games. Kelly, the fact he knows Ryan Day, I could see that happening. There's also talk. Yeah, I'll talk about maybe, and not at the OC role, maybe on an expanded role, though, in the offense, will be like a JT Barrett, who was the assistant quarterbacks coach for the Lions, then quarterbacks coach, and now quarterbacks coach for the Bears. He's just 30 years old. I could see Ohio State reaching out to him if they'd make a promotion throughout that, where there's an opening then on the staff.
Interesting.
Wow. The dominoes are starting to fall all over.
Yes, sir.
Cheeto Fit happens on Twitter, and you can check out all his great shows at FanStream Sports Ohio. That was great. That was convergence between our affiliates here. Timmy, what do you think about that?
We got all 3 studios represented on screen
How
right
about
now
that?
for FanStream Sports.
This is a big moment. Awesome? I think this is a big moment for the growth of FanStream Sports.
Somebody check on Johnny, make sure he's alive.
In breaking news and leveraged our resources in the multi markets to give you updated information on the new USF head coach. We're killing it. We're killing it. Great
Boys,
job,
great
Tito.
seeing you as always. Happy holidays.
Yep. Happy holidays.
All
right. So there you go. Some great insight into what Brian Hartline's going to bring. Ohio State South. I'm here for it.
There it is.
Don't get butthurt, anybody. I mean, if you're going to model your program after another program, you could do worse than Ohio State. Yeah. That's pretty damn good. Love it. All right, we're going to take another break. Erik Erlendsson's going to join us on the other side to talk a little hockey, and then we'll get to your great comments as well. We are brought to you by the great folks at the Gold and Diamond Source. The holidays are the best time to get engaged, right? Because all the family is here. You can celebrate together. At the Gold and Diamond Source, they have thousands of diamonds, real diamonds to choose from. You don't want to start your marriage with a fake diamond, folks. That's a bad idea. So if you're looking for a gift that says forever, find stunning engagement rings, diamond earrings, diamond bracelets, the most stylish gold fashion, and plenty for men as well in their new men's area and watch department. Go check that out. There's something for everyone on your list. Don't settle for anything less than perfection at the Gold and Diamond Source. By the way, they will finance your purchase, 0% interest for up to 5 years. So you can get a $5,000 diamond for only $84 a month. So head on over there to a great local company and keep it local over this Christmas time. Go have fun. Get out. Talk to some folks. Do some shopping at the Gold and Diamond Source. And I was over there yesterday at our Hands Across the Bay charity event, and a great turnout. And we raised a lot of money for Hands Across the Bay. So that was fun, too. The great folks at the Gold and Diamond Source. Go see them and tell them JP sent you. Erik Erlendsson, when we come back, stay with us. It's the holiday season, so come visit the wonderland of jewelry at the Gold and Diamond Source with over 25 times the inventory and selection of the average jewelry store. Guys, get your shopping done early, and if you have no idea of the trends and styles that your lady wants, that's cool. The incredible staff led by Julie and Steve Weintraub and family will offer up some great ideas with no pressure. They offer everything for the first-time jewelry buyer to the most exquisite selection of museum-quality pieces. Enjoy a comfortable, relaxed atmosphere and experienced staff, geologists, jewelers, and designers for all your jewelry needs. From the luxurious jewelry boxes to their VIP customer care, there's many reasons to make sure it's a Gold and Diamond Source diamond. Keep it local this holiday season. Shop online anytime at goldendiamond.com or just come by their showroom at 3800 Overton Road and always online at goldendiamond.com. JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man Scott Jeeves. If you're going to hire an attorney, do you want some guy looking for a quick settlement and a quick buck, or do you want an attorney with some chops? Scott is a board-certified civil trial lawyer and a certified circuit court mediator. Been practicing in the Tampa Bay area for over 30 years. He is a peer-reviewed AV preeminent-rated civil trial lawyer. They just don't hand out those classifications. He's been the lead class action counsel on many complex consumer protection cases and has handled hundreds of serious personal injury cases. He's dedicated his career to protecting injured victims and is committed to vigorously representing you. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. Personal injury and personal attention. Call for a free case evaluation. That's 888-9-JEEVES. That's 888-9-JEEVES. The Jeeves Law Group. Welcome to Kingmakers, home of the JP Peterson Show studio and Tampa's premier business networking and social club for members only. By day, it's an exclusive, vibrant co-working space with a stylish conference room, focus rooms, a full production studio, and an in-house marketing team. And by night, Kingmakers transforms into a sports-centric social hub with a full sports bar, golf simulator, and exclusive events. For young entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals, it's the perfect place to work hard, play hard, and make big moves in Midtown Tampa. Close the deal, celebrate the win. Only at Kingmakers. Become a member today at kingmakerstampa.com. Your business, your club. Are you looking for an honest AC and plumbing company? I mean, that's like trying to find a humble Saints fan, right? Well, try my friends at Third Generation AC and Plumbing Services. Been in business since 1995 here locally, And listen to what one of their customers said. Quote, the gentleman providing the service was exceptional, on time, knowledgeable, professional, and experienced. He was efficient, cleaned up behind himself, and did the work expeditiously. He not only repaired a sink, he repaired our toilet that was constantly running. We have used this company several times. They are awesome. Says it all, folks. Testimonials really say it all. Call 813-961-8024 for honest, fast service. 813-961-8024 or thirdgenerationplumbing.com. We also do AC.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at the Gold and Diamond Source. So get on over there and shop for your gold and diamonds and enjoy this great local company that has a great reputation. Gold and Diamond Source, absolutely the finest folks on the planet. Great local company. All right, let's welcome in one of the other finest folks on the planet. He is the great Erik Erlendsson to talk a little bit of hockey. We bring you on after a loss. That's what we do here, Erik. It's 7 wins in a row, but we wait till they lose so you can come on here and explain this debacle that happened on the island last night. That's what we wait for. How are you, partner?
I'm good. Good morning. How are you?
Well, I didn't see him after the 1-8 start or whatever the hell it was. I didn't see him in first place before December. That kind of that escalated quickly. It really did.
Yeah, that's just belief in the system, right? That's what it is. You look back at that. It was a bad stretch. It just happened to be a bad stretch from game number 1, right? And you looked at the way that they lost those games. Bad decisions late, right? The Chicago game, the Ottawa game, the Jersey game. Those were all games that were lost in the final 2 minutes on just bad puck decisions. And they cleaned it up. Brandon Hagel's shots that were hitting the post suddenly started going in. And here we are. They went from 15th in the conference to 1st in the conference, and from November 1st to December 1st. It really is a quick turnaround.
Well, as I'm waiting for my co-host Timm to explain how Lane Kiffin could have done it better, I will ask you this conundrum. How in the hell are we better defensively without Hedman, Chernak, and McDonough?
Again, belief in the system. It's like you look at the style that they're playing. They're a little bit more aggressive on the puck carrier. I mean, look, Andre Vasilevsky's a big part of this as well, right? Like you think back to the Scorpion save he made against fire. Vegas, and they ended up winning that game in overtime. Or Edmonton, sorry, that was the Edmonton game he made that save. But it's like the Rangers game in particular on Saturday. Like you looked how aggressive they were on the puck between the red line and the offensive blue line. Like they just did not allow the Rangers any space, which is, as Chief pointed out to me, it's very similar to the way that the Panthers play. It's similar to the way that the Hurricanes play. I mean, we are in a copycat league. When teams have success with certain ways, teams will look to try and do the same for their own club. So I think that's just part of it. And, like a guy like DeStew, right? Like he's not a rookie. He's a first year in the NHL, but he's not a rookie. He's been a pro for, 6 years, right? He's 27, so he's got pro experience. He just didn't have NHL pro experience, and it's a jump up coming over from Europe. But he is, you look at his history and the way that he's played throughout his career. This is who he is. He's not an offensive only defenseman. He's got a lot more jam to his game. And, so he's kind of come in with a chip on his shoulder to make the NHL after so many years of being, not even on anybody's radar. Declan Carlisle is an up and comer, right? Like he's, a left-hand shot defenseman who's been in the system for a few years and, learning things. And yeah, it seems a little weird that, you take out a Hall of Fame defenseman and Victor Hedman and, a guy like Ryan McDonough who might not make the Hall of Fame, but he's had a Hall of Fame type of career. You take those guys out of the lineup and you're still playing at a level that's, preventing goals. And that's been what John Cooper's been preaching about since day one. It's not about what you score. It's about what you keep out of the net. So even a game like last night where they did not have their typical offensive night, even with all the puck possession that they had, they still held the Islanders to 2 goals and gave themselves a chance to win that game because of how they played defensively. So that's everybody buying in. That is Joel Bouchard, who's the head coach in Syracuse, playing a similar system so that when guys do come up here, it's just a seamless transition because they're used to playing that same style.
What's interesting about that, I just heard you say, is that they're taking away a lot more time and space than we've seen our defensemen do over time. And Chief has been the loudest person about this, is like, stop backing up, like go attack the guy, especially at the blue line. Just don't allow them the time and space to come in and do what the hell they want, because it's kind of what we've seen for a long time. And these younger guys just don't do that. They're much more aggressive. Is it the way they've been coached up to this point? Or is this something new that the Lightning would like them to do? There's a disconnect here for me. So help me out.
Well, the irony there is that they still back off their own blue line, right? They're still giving up that space at the defensive blue line, but it's in the neutral zone, again, from the red line to the offensive blue line, where they're just jumping on the puck. And, that's the difference here. It's kind of it's a little bit of a transition in the way that they're approaching the game, right? You can't institute it all at once. You have to kind of work your way up to doing it. You can't completely change your system overnight. So it's been, a little bit of a process here in feeding it and getting, especially some of the guys that have been here, to rewire their brains a little bit to be a little bit more aggressive on the puck, especially when teams are coming out of their own zone. So that's just what it is. And, we'll see if this trend continues. I think it will, because it is a difficult style to play. I mean, one of the knocks on Carolina is they're so aggressive and they're so up tempo and they smother you so much that they don't have anything left in the tank when you get to April and May. That's why they haven't been able to kind of get over the hump.
Yeah.
Now, the other part of that is Carolina doesn't have the type of game breakers that Florida has or the Lightning have. They have Aho and, they tried to bring in Nikolai Ehlers this year. We'll see how that works for them moving forward. But it can be a difficult system to try and play throughout the entire course of the season.
Yeah.
And I remember Dan Highnote. We had a chance to talk to Danny a couple weeks ago after the Vancouver game where, they did fade in that game, right? They had a quick start and then they just kind of fell off the map after that game against Florida. And one of the interesting things I took out of that conversation we had with him was talking about how you have to be in shape to play, right? He was specifically more talking about the January schedule. Like if anybody's looked at the January schedule that's coming next month, it is brutal. I think they have 4 home games in the month, but they still play like 15 or 16 games. They'll be on the road for a week and a half. They'll come home for one, they'll go back on the road for a week. I mean, it is going to be a difficult stretch of games for this team to play. But it was interesting to hear Dan Highnote talk about having to be in shape. So I think that kind of plays into it a little bit as well.
Interesting. And Brian Bradley mentioned that to us when he watched the first month of the season. He said, I don't think these guys are in shape yet. They were losing their legs as the games went on, and that happened in that Vancouver game as well. So, and I think they're getting much better at that. And I think Highnote's probably a reason why, because they're pushing them in practice and they're trying to get them to another level. So that's interesting. We'll talk a little bit about this Kucherov, Hagel, and Sorelli thing we got going on. This is quite the line that has been really good. Why are they playing so well together?
Well, you've got the chemistry between Cirelli and Hagel, which, like a lot of what was going on early in the season, wasn't quite clicking. But when those two are in sync, and you've seen it on the penalty kill, they've been in sync on the penalty kill. And I think for them, that's where it starts. And they've carried that over to the 5-on-5 play. And then you add in Kucherov. I mean, Cirelli and Hagel play at such a relentless pace. Kucherov kind of comes in and plays up to his speed and his brain, right? Like his brain moves at a different level than everybody else, a different pace than everybody else. So he kind of comes in and just matches that. And, you've got two guys who are relentless in their pursuit of the puck. And then you add a guy in on that line who can do magical stuff when they do get the puck back. They just know how to control the play. And, it was, they got caught a little bit on the first Islanders goal last night as the Islanders jumped up on the play. I think that caught them by surprise a little bit.
Yeah.
So they had they didn't quite sort out that situation. It ended up being the first goal of the game for New York. But for the most part, they've been able to just control the puck in the offensive zone, just through the chemistry and the understanding they have on how to play with each other. It really has been fun to watch that trio play, especially, with Braden Point struggling this year, and now Point's been out for, going on 2 weeks here now. Braden Point has not been up to his par. Point and Kucherov together have not been good at this so far this year. So, you put Kucherov with a couple of guys who just play the game at a certain pace in their pursuit of the puck, and he's kind of fit right in.
Erik Erlendsson joining us here, lightninginsider.com. The game last night, I thought they played really well. I think Cooper did too. Defensively, they just Sorokin was really good. He made some incredible saves last night, and especially at the end, that third period at the end. I'm like, we got the James got a goal, and that last 3.5 minutes, I thought they were going to score. I think they hit the pipe at least twice. But I thought they played pretty well last night. What do you think?
Yeah, they did. And then you look at the possession numbers, and I think they had 20 plus more shot attempts and actually 20 more high danger chances. I think they out high danger chance to 27-7. But they played well, but it didn't feel like it's weird. I use this analogy in what I wrote. I use this analogy on the air last night too. When we were younger, we would have a stretch at work where we would work like 15 straight days, and the Lightning were coming off 9 games in 15 days. You get that first couple of days off to kind of relax. You come back to work. Yeah, you're rejuvenated, but you're not re-energized, right? Like that's just kind of how that felt. Yeah. They were not on their game as they were certainly in Saturday's game against the Rangers. But as a whole, yeah, they had the puck a lot. They created enough chances to get more than one goal. It was just one of those nights where the offense just doesn't click. And that's why it's important that you continue to play strong defense, right? Because defense doesn't take slumps. So if you can defend, you're going to give yourself a chance, even in games last night where they had 22 attempts blocked and they missed 22 other shots. I mean, that's an off night for your offense. And,
right,
like I said, their game breakers didn't come through with one of those plays. And even the goal that they scored, that's not even a scoring chance. Right, James just kind of gets to the bottom of the circle, throws one, and it just finds a hole on Sorokin. That happens sometimes. So they just didn't have that type of night. But you look back and Coops did say it. He said, "Look, find me a team that goes 82-0." Yeah. So some nights you have that in hockey, and last night was one of those nights. But what you have to make sure doesn't happen, especially in how compacted the Eastern Conference is, and specifically the Atlantic Division. You can't let one game turn into 2 games, turn into 3 games, because you'll go from first to worst real fast.
Yeah, quickly. Yeah, as fast as they went up, they could go down. But I just, the way Vasi is playing, what did you see anything different in his game, or is this just a natural progression from what last year was a serious back injury to him taking more time off now? I think obviously JoJo's been doing a great job. I think he's playing less and managing his body better. Is that fair to say? Why we're seeing the old Vasi?
Yeah, definitely the managing part, right? Like we all had some questions in training camp. He didn't skate for 10 days. They added Phoenix Copley from Los Angeles. Like, what are they doing here? Like, what's going on with Vasi?
It was scary.
Yeah, it was. It really was. Yeah. But I think that, like you listen to Andre talk over the last couple of years, specifically because of the back reason. No more squats, right? Like he said, he's not doing any more stuff from there. So he has learned to adjust, taking care of himself, right, on and off the ice. And the big thing too, like there's so much mental stress to being a goaltender in the National Hockey League, right? Like sometimes you just need those days off. I remember, even Torts way back when saying that, sometimes it just takes more out of you to come in and put the pads on.
Yeah.
And then have to come in after 15 minutes on the ice and take the pads off. Like it can be a little bit of a mental grind. So, they're making sure that he gets practice days off. They're making sure that he takes some morning skates off when he's not playing, just to kind of keep his mental frame as fresh as anything else. And certainly the rest doesn't hurt. Of course, you can't do that if, Jonas Johansson isn't playing the way that Jonas Johansson is. I mean, his numbers do not reflect the way that he's played. I mean, that game in Washington a week ago Saturday, he was phenomenal. He was the best player on the ice. And that was a game in which Brandon Hagel had 4 points, right? But Johansson was easily the best player on the ice for the Lightning that night. And he's had some of those games here of late where, he'll let in 3, but he could have let in 9, right? Yeah. He's been really good and whenever he's played. So that's a good sign for Tampa Bay too, that, they get him playing at a level to where he can help you get points on nights that Vazzy doesn't start.
And as good as this team has been, Erik, obviously winning 7 in a row and rocketing to the top, they can be better. They can be better. I mean, obviously, when you get Hedman back and McDonough, and it's kind of weird because you're playing so well defensively, but these guys they're world-class players. And Braden Point. I mean, Braden Point is a 50-goal scorer in this league. And he has been absolutely MIA, and hopefully it's all injury related and it's going to be better when he gets back. I don't think he's suddenly forgot how to play. So I think this team has, with the depth that they built during these injuries, and people are going to be competing for ice time like crazy, which makes everybody better. Yeah. So I think as we move into next year, this looks like a team that's not only really good now, but could be really, really good down the stretch. Your thoughts?
Yeah, you're almost to the point now where you have to hope when Hedman and McDonough and Point and looks like Crozier might be the closest to returning, that these guys come back in, they don't screw things up.
No,
like that's kind of where you're at with
saying that. Actually, yes.
with bringing these guys back in. The interesting thing is going to be is that when they are healthy, and McDonough did get back out on the ice. He came out for practice late on Monday. He's not going to be ready, I don't think, by tomorrow, but maybe by next week. We'll see when they head back out on the road. Point skated a little bit as well. Hedman, even though he's skated, I think his is an upper body situation that doesn't affect his legs. So I still think he's on LTI. He can't even come back until the earliest this weekend anyway. But the interesting thing is going to be not only who stays in the lineup, who stays on the roster, right? You've only got 3 guys who do not require waivers to be reassigned. One is Dominic James. The other is Charles-Edouard Dastou, who you cannot take out of the lineup with the way he's been playing, and Max Crozier. Those are the only 3 guys who do not require waivers to be reassigned. And a guy like Darren Radish, at the start of the season, we thought, boy, if I'm Darren Radish, I'm worried. And now you look at him because of the injuries. He's playing 24, 25, 27 minutes a night. He's putting up points. He's been on a top pairing with J.J. Moser, who's been, Moser's played out of his mind so far this year, and they've been a good duo together. Like, these are good problems to have, but there's still issues you have to sort out and deal with. So, you've got, we didn't even mention Erik Chernak and how long he's going to be out. The depth is certainly there. It's one of the things we sort of saw it develop during training camp and during the preseason. But, I asked, John Cooper this question, how nice has it been to see that depth develop in the preseason? But then when they get a chance to come up to the NHL and play, not preseason against preseason lineups, that they continue to show that they're capable of playing at this level. I mean, there's one thing to do it in preseason, but these guys have done it during the regular season in the early stages. So it'll be very, very interesting to see how things shake out once everybody's healthy, because I mean, you might lose some of that depth depending on what kind of decisions you make.
Yeah, and Radish is the perfect example of all this. I mean, he's been fantastic. I loved at the end of the game last night. He was just bombing away with that 100-mile-an-hour shot. Just feed it back to the point, let him rip it, and go get a rebound. I thought they were going to score, but it was just kind of fun to watch. He's uber aggressive. I think Hedman should take a page out of that book, and just let it rip from the point. And just find a way to get it through, and he's got that shot too, and he doesn't use it enough, in my opinion. So maybe
totally agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, he's been in the league, 17 years now, and maybe he can learn a little something from Darren Radish. Hit bombs. All right, but tell everybody how they can get lightninginsider.com, the absolute Bible when it comes to following the Lightning.
Yeah, 2 opportunities to sign up. Just go to the homepage, lightninginsider.com, hit the subscribe button. You get a monthly plan, you get a yearly plan. Great gift to give away, by the way, is we are in that part of the calendar and the year. But yeah, it's, we're coming up on, this will be 9 years.
Yeah.
No, 10.
Wow.
Yeah, 9 years. It'll be 9 years in January since I put it behind the paywall. Nine years this month since the site launched. So, still kicking, still going strong. Could always use more support, though. I'd like to see those subscriber numbers tick up for sure.
Let's go. It is a great gift for a Lightning fan in your sphere. Now, are you gonna will you give them like a personalized video if they sign up, like a Merry Christmas video to the fan? Will you do that?
Like a cameo?
Does anybody want to see this? I don't know if anybody wants to see this. That might be the equivalent of a lump of gold in your stocking.
No, but they love you. They love you. They're not dating you, but they want to. Hey, Merry Christmas. Your wife thought it would be great for you to get this gift and this great video. I think it'd be fantastic. All right, get a free video with your subscription there. I put it out there. Mention my name. Tell them JP sent you.
Promo code.
My face. All right. See you later, Eric.
All right,
Thanks,
boys. Be well.
Thanks, Eric.
Wow. This is a great
promo code JP.
Yeah. All right. We got lots of comments to get to.
We got to get to those.
We're going to do this next. So quick break. We'll come back on the other side. We're brought to you by the great folks at Third Generation Plumbing and American Standard Heating and Cooling. We love these folks. That's the dynamic duo. If you need a new air conditioner or a new heater, as it might be in these chilly winters we're experiencing here in Tampa Bay, it is thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Go to their website and see all the great 5-star reviews. They're a terrific company. If you need any service on your unit, definitely thirdgenerationplumbing.com. They do AC, they do plumbing, anything mechanical in your house, they will do. And they use American Standard heating and cooling products. And that's the great deal right there, because they are the most durable. They are the most efficient. Get your money's worth. Don't go with the lowest price, folks, because those units will not handle what needs to be handled in this Florida heat. American Standard is the standard. American Standard Heating and Cooling and thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Go to that website and get hooked up. Back at 3 with your incredibly pithy and brilliant comments coming up next. Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com. Experience the art of driving at Genesis of Tampa, where luxury meets innovation and every detail is crafted for you. From the bold G70 to the refined GV80, Genesis delivers power, elegance, and technology years ahead of its time. Book service online, and our Genesis Experience advisors will pick you up and drop off your vehicle. If available, you can enjoy a courtesy car while yours gets a complimentary interior vacuum plus a generous offer for your trade. Every new Genesis comes with the Miracle Advantage Plan, 10 years or 250,000 miles of powertrain warranty and 4 years of complimentary maintenance. Visit us at 801 East Bears Avenue or online at genesisoftampa.com. Genesis of Tampa, luxury redefined. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week. So go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com. Although it may seem tempting to go without health care insurance, the financial risk far outweighs the gain you may experience. For example, did you know if you simply broke your leg, it could cost you nearly $7,500? Put on top of that a hospital stay, you could be looking at $10,000 to $15,000. Ensuring that you don't go uncovered is so important, as according to CNBC, high medical bills are the highest contributing factor to why Americans end up taking money out of their retirement savings, or worse, find themselves filing bankruptcy. So go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. Now, depending on your income, you can get plans for zero premium. Our experts will guide you through the process effortlessly. They will shop many plans and find the one that's right for you. I called and I have full health coverage through Florida Blue for zero monthly premium. It's a free call. So why go uncovered? It's a huge risk. Go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. That's 800-669-1505. Are you looking for an honest AC and plumbing company? I mean, that's like trying to find a humble Saints fan, right? Well, try my friends at Third Generation AC and Plumbing Services. Been in business since 1995 here locally. And listen to what one of their customers said. Quote, the gentleman providing the service was exceptional, on time, knowledgeable, professional, and experienced. He was efficient, cleaned up behind himself, and did the work expeditiously. He not only repaired a sink, he repaired our toilet that was constantly running. We have used this company several times. They are awesome. Says it all, folks. Testimonials really say it all. Call 813-961-8024 for honest, fast service. 813-961-8024 or thirdgenerationplumbing.com. We also do AC.
Let's go. Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at Genesis of Tampa and KingmakersTampa.com. Private club here where we are broadcasting from right here. The JP Peterson Show comes from you, the live from Kingmakers Tampa. It is a private club and a really cool place. It is a shared office facility. We have private offices. We have shared office space here as well. A conference room that you would be able to use for your business, and this fantastic production facility we have right here as well. So check it out. KingmakersTampa.com is the website. Find out all about it. Come tour it and become a member today. All right. Are you ready to get to these pithy, wonderful comments that we have here? First things first.
I've been waiting all day here.
I know, right? Marty DeBoer says it's that time of year, and he gives us $100. I might even have to send some of that to you, partner.
Holy Mother of God.
Says, I still hate your politics, but I do appreciate the passion in which you cover our local sports. By the way, I'm sure you hate my politics just the same. Support local votes. Thanks, partner. I really appreciate it. And yeah, we can disagree on some things. Yeah. And I would bet, though, that we're probably in lockstep on most issues. Believe it or not. Yeah. But I really appreciate probably the fact that you don't just throw up your hands and I don't throw up my hands, and we just, because our politics are different, and not love local sports, which we both do. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
That's what this show is about. It's about sports, not politics. Sometimes they cross. We try not to do that, but it's okay. We don't all have to think the same. about either one.
That's right. But just be respectful of each other. That's all we ask. Be respectful. No name calling. None of that stuff. We have good, honest, fun debates.
We are master debaters.
We are master debaters. So Mr. King said, or as Joel Forsland says, how can emotions not be part of it? It's college football, JP. Yes, great point. My point being, when you're making administrative decisions, emotions should not be part of it. When you're college, or business, life, relationships, you gotta, they're part of it. I get it, and their emotion is the backbone of college football. 100% agree with you there. I'm talking about when you're making administrative decisions. Like, there may be people that you don't necessarily care for personally, but if they're good coaches and they do a hell of a job, then you put your personal feelings aside and do what's right for the university. If you don't like Lane Kiffin, that's fine. But do you have a better chance of advancing in the college football playoff with him as your play caller? And someone on here said that, I think it was James, that only one player wanted him here. That's a complete lie. I don't know where you read that. All the players wanted Lane to stay. All of them. I don't know where you're reading that, James, but that is completely false. These players love Lane Kiffin, and they know their best chance to win a national championship is with him, which is why they wanted him to stay. And again, I would love to live in a world where these coaches go to Ole Miss and USF and they have success and they stay the whole time. That's fantasy world. It's fantasy world. You got to manage it the best way you can. And for me, if you're in this position and you earned 11-1 and you're going to the college football playoff, you say, well, you can't, as he said, and the calendar's the fault, number one. He says other shows blame 100%. The NCAA calendar, but Lane didn't help the situation. He was communications with his AD, but if you listen to A.J. McCarron and others, Lane really needed up. I don't know what that means. Only one player wanted him to stay. That's not true. That's 100% not true. So, and again, Tim, how would you have done it better if you're Lane?
So look, first of all, yes, I agree. It is the calendar is mainly to blame for this thing. But I also believe there are ways to get around this. And I know emotions are riding high for Lane and emotions are riding high for Ole Miss. And this probably, and again, until we see the ESPN 30 for 30 with all of because I believe there will be one about this, by the way, no doubt.
Yeah.
Until we see some behind the scenes things here in a couple of years when this all comes out, I still firmly believe there are ways that Lane could have handled this better. Or at least attempted to. And look, I will admit part of my, and I'll use the word disgust for Lane Kiffin in this whole situation is because of the way he's conducted himself previously. And I had really let you, I admit it. I had let you talk me into this is a new Lane Kiffin. He's older, he's wiser, he's more mature. And then to be blindsided by this, because I think he's done now the same thing he's done everywhere else he's ever been. And so I'm using part of his background and his history. I'm including all of that with this because he has a track record of mismanaging situations.
No doubt.
Part of this, whether that's fair or not, that is my perception. And that is everyone's perception.
I get that.
Right
He's
or not?
He's been at Ole Miss for 6 years.
Right.
And he's rewritten the record book as far as wins. Everything.
Did he go to Ole Miss and say, look, guys, I'm taking the LSU job. I don't want an announcement until after the season. We're in the playoff. Yes, I want to do all of. Did he do that? And then Ole Miss went, no, F you. You're out of here. You're not taking anybody with you.
That's what happened. 100%.
How do we know that?
100% what happened. I know.
And then that's unfortunate for the kids. That's unfortunate.
I know for a fact that Lane wanted to push all of this to the end of the season because he knew he could go. He knew he was the number one candidate.
Right.
And Jimmy Sexton knew that, and he had his pick of jobs and name his number. And everything he said about the money and all that is, I believe him. This is a much different Lane Kiffin now than the guy 6 years ago, and people can evolve. And he is very blunt about what an asshole he was and admits it and says, I've made a lot of big mistakes. And nobody's perfect, but he's trying to evolve and change, and I think he's done a hell of a job of it, quite frankly. But so many people just go back to what he has been and say, this is who he's always been this way. Those are bad moments. I was not a Lane Kiffin fan for a long time. Sure. Absolutely. But I think through his time at Alabama and certainly through his time at Ole Miss, he has rehabilitated himself and become a different dude. And I don't know how you could have handled this better, because he said, I want to stay on. I want to finish this, but I am going to move on to another job afterwards. And everybody says, well, you can't do that. You can't be working here, and you can't. Why not? There are tons of coaches in this.
People do it all the time.
Yeah, people do it all the time. There are tons of coaches. John Summerall is going to stay at Tulane. Hartline's going to stay at Ohio State. There's tons of coaches doing it. It's
Eric
part
Morris
of the business.
is staying at North Texas.
Yes, but everybody says, well, it's the same conference and their rivals. Okay, so now you're telling me it's about emotion.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
There's no, the only difference here between all of these situations is it's about emotion. Well, we're in the same conference. Well, typically everybody's competing against everybody in college football, right? To me, I'm not saying it's a perfect situation, but if you're Ole Miss, I think you've screwed yourself, and you didn't have to.
So
you could have done it differently, and
when you're hearing everything that you heard about all of this, because clearly you've heard things and you have channels that I don't. What if Lane Kiffin wouldn't have made a decision until after the season? What if he's like, look, guy, it goes to Ole Miss and says, look, I'm not going to make it a decision. We got work to do here. We're in the playoff. The season's not over. I know the calendar, but this is my job right now. I'll make a decision and an announcement after the season. Because I'm hearing that Ole Miss forced his hand.
Yeah, Ole Miss forced his hand. Okay. They gave him an ultimatum. You got to tell us now whether you're staying or going. And I think that was a bad move.
What would have happened if he just would have said, well, I don't know if I'm staying or going. I'm not worried about that right now. You
got to tell me now. You okay. Do know.
Well, I'm not making a decision. Are you going to fire me? Then fire me.
Yeah.
And I already got a job lined up, by the way.
Yeah. And the other part of it is everything around. Everybody's reporting on it. And Florida says they want him, and FSU's coming after him, and you got all these things all these reports are out there because his agent is doing his due diligence the way he's supposed to do it. So A, it's the calendar's fault. B, it's the bylaws' fault. They need to have situations where you cannot come after another team's coach until the season is over. And if you tamper, there are significant, just like the NFL doesn't. And if you want somebody else's coach, you have to give up compensation to get them, and you have to do it above board. That's the way the NFL handles it. They don't have any of these issues. It's not hard to do. You just need leadership.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to Brian Hartline and the Bucs as well. Regarding Todd Bowles, and we had a conversation with TJ a little bit earlier about this. Joel Forsman says, amen, JP. Us Bowles haters just want some accountability. Show some fight for once. Yeah. Look, and I said Todd is fantastic. I meant as a human being. As a human being, he's a great dude. I love him. I think the world of him. I have some issues with him as a coach. And a lot of it goes towards the defense and what we've seen in terms of accountability for them, which hasn't been much. And it's a scheme that seems to be a little old and tired and not as aggressive as it sometimes needs to be, in my opinion. All right, what else we got here? Go ahead. Did that. Lonnie Wilkins says the creamsicles will revive the Buccaneers. I think it's quite the opposite. Do not put those orange creamsicles out there. Just go with the white and orange. You're 2-0 in those. You're 1-7 in the
Don't
creamsicle.
Don't you put that evil on me.
Don't you put that evil. What else we got?
Never had a chance has a good one here, JP. How was Monty such a good dude, but Lane is a clown?
It's a great question.
They are very different people, by the way. Yeah, I mean.
Well, they are. And, you notice that Lane is trying to get to more of where his dad was, and trying to be more like his dad now. There's no question. He was very immature at a very young age. And I ain't making excuses for that. There was a lot of bad stuff that he did back in the day. Ain't no question about that. But I also will allow people second, third chances, maybe more, and evolve. And I think I try to judge them on the situation at hand. And I think I don't think it was. I just don't think there's a good way to handle any of it, given the calendar and the situation that it is. I don't think there's any good way to handle it. People are mad at Golish. People are mad at at anybody who moves up. It's just part of it.
You cannot be mad at. I mean, other than maybe Kiffin, you can't be mad at these guys at the lower level schools for taking jobs in bigger conferences. You can't be mad at that. That's their goal in life. Their goal in life is not to coach at USF or at North Texas or at Tulane. Their job is to coach in the SEC or the Big 12 or the ACC or the Big 10. That's their goal. And when they have an opportunity to do that, you thank them for everything they've done for your program, because if they're being promoted, that means they did a good job at their job at your school. So thank them for what they did, unless it's Lane Kiffin. And then you wave them on their way and you wish them success, and you be a fan of their new school if you want to.
You just hate Lane.
Unless it's Lane Kiffin. I told you I did not like Lane Kiffin. I've never liked Lane Kiffin.
Mr. King says, if Alabama is snubbed for a loss in the SEC championship, that will be the last SEC championship game ever. He's got it. I'm telling you, if Alabama loses, they are still going to be in. They will take a 9-3 Alabama, or what would it be, 10-3? 10-3.
Yeah,
they will take a 3-loss Alabama before a 2-loss Miami team.
Over a 9-3 Texas team.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I don't see where Miami's resume is that good.
I don't either.
I may be a little bit jilted here, but I don't see. They beat Notre Dame in the first game, and thanks to a miraculous C.J. Daniel reception. And they have been, they lost 2 games they should never have lost. You beat Florida State on the road. Whoop-de-doo. I mean, that's not it. That's not a thing. I mean, what other good wins do they have? And then look at Alabama. Alabama has what? 5 top 25 wins?
Yeah.
And 4 top 10 wins, I think.
They also lost to Florida State.
Yeah.
Look, we can tell Alabama the same damn thing we're telling Texas.
That's
what
right.
are we telling the Longhorns? You should have beat Florida and this wouldn't be an issue. Go tell Alabama you should have beat Florida State and this wouldn't be an issue.
That's
Just
right.
Take care of business. Don't, but we
right.
you
can make the same argument for so many of these teams. And I think you've got a pool of like 5 or 6 teams that are basically the same team, and any one of them could be put into this playoff. So politics is going to be played here. And when politics is played in this ridiculous, stupid committee that you all think is some unbiased strength of record, strength of schedule, all this other BS, it's not. ESPN will decide who they want in and what the matchups are. It's a TV show. They've already proven that.
And by the way, all of you morons who are upset at College Game Day for going to the SEC championship game to broadcast rather than Ohio State, Indiana, because those are the top 2 teams. Why is the college football program not going to be? Because it's ESPN who is in bed with the SEC. Why would they go promote another product? That's the stupidest asinine question that anybody can ask. Well, they're not a legit news organization because they're not at the number 1 versus number. That's not who they broadcast, okay? It's a company. It's a business.
They are anything but a legit news organization.
Nobody's going to accuse ESPN of being a legitimate news organization. That's like saying CNN is.
People want to like apply this, fairness doctrine, if you will, to this college football play. It's not. It has nothing to do with fairness. It has nothing to do with merit. They've proven that with Florida State and other situations. It has everything to do with politics and money and who ESPN, frankly, wants in. They will choose whoever the hell they want because they have all the control. And I just wish they would stop with this dog and pony show and just come out and but listen, they put that show out every year and they're going to do 3 hours and get lots of great ratings. And we're all going to go, ooh, and then we're going to sit around here and argue like it actually even matters, trying to make a case for this and a case. There are no cases. There's a couple of people in an office at ESPN that are going to decide all of this. It's other stuff. It's not.
And by the way, it has always been like this. As long as there has been a voting poll since the 30s, it has always been political. Always. This is not new.
Yeah.
It's just more heavily criticized because everybody has a voice on social media now.
Yeah. That is true. All right. What else do we have here? Mr. King says, yo, appreciate the shout out yesterday. My predictions were just about as good as JP's on Liam Cohen staying.
He ain't effing leaving.
He ain't effing leaving. Yeah. Sometimes things happen. Sometimes crazy ass owners offer coaches who've been OCs for 1 year calling plays $12 million, quadrupling the coaching salary of the guy he actually worked for. And I did not predict that as being part of it. So call me crazy. Call me crazy. By the way, he's 8-4, Liam Cohen. Is that right? Taking a crappy Jacksonville team.
With a crappy quarterback.
Another crappy quarterback. Interesting. Back to the Todd Bowles haters.
Think Liam Cohen's going to make a run at Baker when his contract's up?
I would think. Big time.
I think a lot of teams are going to
Marty Moore says, honestly, I don't think we even had a chance at landing him. It's a steal. We'll see how it goes, but I give it a Siskel and Ebert 2 thumbs up, talking about Brian Hartline. And let me say this. I think there's a major kudos to Rob Higgins and Derek Brooks, because the easiest thing to do would be to feed red meat to all of the USF fans and give you John Gruden. And I don't pretend to know how John would have done in this position. I have no idea. I know he wanted the job last time. I'm guessing he wanted the job this time. And it would have been, really easy. Rob knows him very well, and Derek obviously played for him and won a Super Bowl with him. They love him. There's a lot of synergy there. I get it. And it would have been the easy thing to do. And everybody would have, thrown streamers and thrown parties, and everybody be going nuts, and the folks at Barstool would be going bananas, all that stuff. And it would have been good for the program, a lot of notoriety. But in the long run, this was the mature decision. This is a very mature, well thought out, analytical, smart decision made by Higgins and Brooks and whoever else was involved. And I think it's a great one. I think it's a tremendous hire. Personally, I would love to see Anthony Beck. And I think when he gets his shot, he's going to do a hell of a job. I really do. And I'm rooting for him. But I think this is a tremendous home run hire. I think it's visionary. I think it's a perfect spot for him. I think it's a great fit, all that. And kudos to the, we knew they'd get it right, though. I had a really good feeling that they would get it right. But I think it speaks to that. It really does. All right. Yes, we did talk about the Buccaneers Amazon Prime series. It's going to be a 10-part series. And that'll come out when's it coming out? December? Yeah, so that's going to be fun. And that's obviously the documentary we've been talking about for quite some time, if you have not been around. Joel Forsland says, I've been saying for a while, I don't need Bowles fired as head coach. We just need a new defensive coordinator. I like that idea.
We've been saying that.
There needs to be a new voice, and there needs to be a new scheme, and it just needs to be something new there.
But then we're going to have the Office Space moment with Todd Bowles after that happens. And what would you say you do here?
He keeps the, you know what? He's a great culture builder. How's that?
All right. He's a walk around head coach. Sometimes that's what you need.
Yeah. All right. I think that'll do it for anything else we need to get to. Yes, Mike Evans back and Jalen McMillan back at practice today. Doubt that they're going to play this week. And somebody asked, do they have 21 days? You have 21 days to activate them. If they can play this week, they're allowed to play. That's what happened with Gedeke. He came back week 1 and he played. So it's going to be how they handle practice, if they're sore. My guess would be that they probably won't play until after next Thursday. I don't know why you would, you don't want to play this week and then turn around and play 4 days later, right? I think you've waited this long. I mean, if Mike's itching and ready to go, maybe you find a package for him, put him on a pitch count, kind of like they did with Godwin. I like that. And Godwin played much better second game out. So, they can come back whenever they want. Just manage it. They're ready to go. I don't know if they're ready to go, but from a availability standpoint, in terms of the rules, they can come back right away. All right, that'll do it for us. Timmy, great job. Appreciate you. Thanks to Erik Erlendsson and TJ Rives for joining us as well. We will be back tomorrow with more fun and frivolity. Congrats to USF, Brian Hartline. Great get.